So without further ado, I'd like to move to our first speaker. Toru Kawahigashi is the managing director of Sumitomo Mitsui Card. I've really enjoyed meeting him because he's been a true leader in innovation for Sumitomo Mitsui Card. In his prior roles, he launched the Sumitomo Mitsui debit card. He was also responsible for the launch of Apple Pay here in the Japanese market. So he's a really true innovator. In his latest innovation, he's leading the development of the Kokoiko program, which is the first large-scale card-linked offer program in the Japanese market. And I'd like to thank Sumitomo Mitsui Card for their leadership in the Japanese market, specifically as it relates to card linking. They were the first large Japanese issuer to join the CardLinx Association. So without further ado, let's give a hand of applause for Toru Kawahigashi, who will come in to speak to the podium.
Good morning. I am Kawahigashi from Sumitomo Mitsui Card. Thank you so much for coming so early in the day. It's great to see so many of you here. I would also like to express my appreciation to have this opportunity to speak at this event that CardLinx is hosting. Now, today I would like to talk about SMCC's CLO initiatives and the Japanese CLO market. I'm just going to go to the next page. Okay. So I'd like to start with my personal introduction. As Mr. Tavares mentioned just now, I joined Sumitomo Bank. Well, it's now called SMBC, or Sumitomo Mitsui Banking Corporation. I joined in 1982. I spent about, or just over 30 years at the bank. So 30 years, when you tell people overseas, they're just like, what? 30 years in the same place? But really, in the first half, when it came to payments, I provided services mostly to corporations, our corporate customers. And then for the second half, especially after the financial crisis in 2008, I was in the department, talked about the bank-wide settlements, and at the very end, I was working in the planning of the financial settlements. In 2013, I joined Sumitomo Mitsui Card Product Planning and Development Manager, and I am currently responsible for product planning and development and the memberships. Okay, I would like to briefly speak about my company, Sumitomo Mitsui Card Company. So we are part of the Sumitomo Mitsui Financial Group. We are responsible mostly for the payments. And we were established in 1967. We actually just welcomed our 50th anniversary last December. And we are the leading company for in the Japanese credit card industry. As you see here, we handle many different brands. Also, in 2006, we decided to put in a capital arrangement with NTT Docomo to have a no-touch mobile settlement service called ID. We established this in Japan, and then 2 years ago, we started providing Apple Pay in Japan. But really, we've been working with mobile payments for over 10 years before that. We are a company that is always thinking of the latest in technology. Now, let's talk about the Japanese cashless market. I think most Japanese people are quite familiar with the charts here. those of you from overseas too, I believe that you all understand that Japan is quite behind the times when it comes to being cashless. In Japan, we are looking to welcome the Rugby World Cup in 2019 and then the Olympics in 2020. And of course, it hasn't been determined yet, but we are hoping to host the Expo, World International Expo in Osaka in 2025. So we are expecting more and more visitors to come from overseas. Therefore, the Japanese government has said we want to welcome as many as 40 million visitors by 2020 and 60 million by 2025. Along with this, we really need to make sure that we have the right framework in place for cashless payments. Now, the Japanese government has said by 2027, we want to double the number of settlements of cash that made in cashless. So that is our growth strategy 2017. So by the year 2020, when we have the Olympics, what we want to do is to have most of the commercial areas, tourist areas, and hotels and such, 100% should be able to handle credit cards, and 100% should be able to handle IC chips. And so we are really working on promoting the placement of these kinds of settlement devices. So we are expecting a great increase in cashless payments, and this is going to be a real push for our CLO initiatives. And we also think that our CLO initiatives will really help push the cashless initiative for Japan as well. We have been working on CLO for many years now. So the CLO services that we provide, I'd like to talk a little bit about one called Kokoiko. So Kokoiko is based on our card usage. What we want to do is we want to increase services or increase visitors to our member stores. So to our members, both our card users and for the member stores, it will be stress-free. So what happens is you have to enter in the app where you want to go, and then you don't have to actually show any coupon or anything when you go to the store. You just use our card to defer payment, and they get the points, or you get the cashback service, or you get the coupon applied right there. So you don't have to show a paper coupon or a QR code or anything to get your discount. It is hassle-free and simple. That is one of the biggest benefits of CLO. I think in Japan, there are some people in Japan who are embarrassed in showing coupons and QR codes and such. So this will be really appropriate for people like that. Also, there are great benefits for the stores, for the vendors. There's no special kind of operations required at the store, and so there are fewer steps for your staff. You don't have to make the customer wait any extra time to apply any special coupon. With Kokoiko, we have two different offerings, two different grades here for the points and cashback. First is the typical offers that applies to all members. The other one is a special offers. It's a special trick we have up our sleeve for our special members. So the special offer usually is a much better offer than a typical offer. This is sent out to specific segments that our member stores, our member vendors or merchants want to target. So you can see on the right-hand side what a special offer looks like or what the comparison is. So each member or user gets a different coupon or a different offer, and we make it so that they can't see which they're getting. So the member goes in, and they're finally able to see, hey, I received a special offer here. You can see the red banner. Now, for the member merchants, they want to, of course, they have limited funds for advertising, and you want it to be as focused as possible. And so you can really give the discounts to the people you really want to welcome into your stores. And that's how Kokoiko helps you. With Kokoiko, we send out coupons using our mobile app, VPass. So we are really focused on the mobile function here when it comes to designing our services. Currently, we are now taking on a lot of different initiatives to improve our customer experience. And we are especially conscious of these mobile terminals that our customers or the current consumers are using everywhere. And so we are working on connecting information with our VPass app, or we're trying to make sure that we have a great streamlined workflow for all the information. Which is what you see up there, the VPass app there, you can see the information goes from there to the payment, to the location, so that we can guide people where we want them to go. We also want to make sure we send the appropriate information to our members. And to do that, we want to make sure we understand where where our members are at all times, and we want to send the appropriate, useful messages to them based on where they are at the time. So we utilize push notifications in our app for that. So I'd like to talk a little bit about the performance of Kokoiko. Kokoiko was released in September 2016, so it's been almost a year and a half. Our member merchants find it very useful, but you can see there are many popular stores, very famous stores here, and we have over 90 brands or 2,500 shops that are participating. We are working not just in our issuing business, but also in our acquiring business. And so what we want to do is make sure that we take advantage or leverage the relationships we have built with our clients and to increase the number of merchants. We see a growing number of brands here. And if you look on the right-hand side chart, usage of Kokoiko, if we compare this to last April, we have grown by 2.5 times. So I'd talk about some of the effects from the launch. First, from our member merchants, they said that we have received about 50. A new customer rate has been up 58%, and so that we are contributing to developing new customers. Also, looking at our survey results, surveying our customers, 72% say that because of Kokoiko, they have gone to or they've started to visit stores that they wouldn't normally have gone to. Then if you look at the bottom left, our users or our members, about 52% of them are gold or platinum members. So what we're doing is we are sending even more excellent or high-level customers to our member merchants. And then the bottom right, this is an example here of one member merchant. So department store A, of members that have used department store A, Kokoiko members visit this store 9 times more than non-members. This is looked at over 6 months. So you can see this. We can really expect to see more frequent visits from our members. Here are some results from our customer surveys. We asked our users about Kokoiko. So these are our VPAS internet service customers, and we also actually surveyed the Kokoiko member merchants. First, the benefits or the good points from the users. They said the services are easy to use and there's no need to show a coupon. These are some of the benefits here. And these are the specific characteristics of CLO that we want to promote. So people do actually find that because you don't need to show a coupon, the service is easier to use.
In addition, as you can see, there's the attractive stores and the site easy to see and also benefits attractive. So, however, a lot of people like the fact service is easy to use and don't need to show coupons. And also participating stores, they said these are what they liked, lead to new customers, as you saw before. And also it can visualize the effect on customers flow by linking results or sales. And top right, then here you can see this is the way to visualize the benefit of our service. So these are what people like about our service. This is the second survey compared to the first one. It's an uptrend. However, there are some points they want us to improve. Now, for example, customers say they didn't know about the service. There's so many of them answered in that way. And some say, no stores I want to go. And also it's troublesome to find a store or hard to find. And participating stores said the denominator of customers is very small. We are reflecting these feedback. We'd like to increase the awareness of service so that there will be more users and the usage at participating stores. We are taking every possible measures. And here, I'd like to talk about our key takeaway. It's been 1.5 years after we introduced this service. The first thing is Kokoiko is popular among both members and the participating stores. And we're able to confirm there is a need for CLO in the market. The second key takeaway is it is pressing matter that we increase awareness with Kokoiko. Then third is we need to expand the service and we need to drive number of the members. To be able to do that, the participating stores, outlets, that's what we have to increase. And fourth, online to offline CLO like a Kokoiko, it's quite strong with mobile device. So I think it is great. We're learning from the survey and key takeaway. This is what we are working on to improve our service. And the first, as you saw, some customers said they didn't know about Kokoiko service. There's no store they want to go or can't find. Then now we are trying to send the information benefit for customers. Starting September 2017, we are providing the tailored recommendation based on members' attribute and purchase history and where they live and what kind of family structure they have. With all these elements, we group the customers and also we based on the information of member cluster so that we can provide optimized and customized and individualized recommendation to customers. This through the service, once the customer log in the Kokoiko site, they will be introduced to the membership, the merchants that they have been to or something they like. We believe this is driving the convenience for customers and also raising awareness of our service. So this recommendation, we try to expand data source, for example, external media and access information, location information, and the calendar information so that we can analyze massive amount of data using AI so that it can increase the accurate information and also best timing to offer. For example, a customer in 50s and a gold member, they booked a trip in Kyoto. Then once the customer is in Kyoto, then at the then in Kyoto, they search the restaurant, then they can receive the offers from restaurant. The price range is where they usually go. And also, for example, a matcha store that is great for souvenir, such an offer will be sent. And also, there's a referral system. If this person refer the restaurant in Kyoto to a friend, if that's the case, they'll be rewarded for those deferred and deferred. That's the possible future services. And also, this is another measure we are taking to drive more customers. So we would like to expand our scope of customers. Right now, our service is limited to our card members and participating stores. However, starting this spring, as you can see here, we have brother companies or sister companies will be in the space. VJ or Omni Card Association. These are the brother companies. For example, Shinkin Bank or local banks are the part of the brother companies or credit association. In Japan, there are about 50 member companies and the brother company. We would like to expand our scope to them as well. With that, we'll be able to send more customers, those live in local area, to the local stores. So that will contribute to vitalizing local economy. Given the benefit, we believe that so many brother companies will join us. And also for us to expand the customer base, we need to provide the service to the non-members in Japan and the non-participating stores. And also, we need to capture those targeting the overseas visitors and also Japanese, the people who are traveling as well. Let's now talk about the overview of CLO market in Japan. In Japan, unfortunately, there are not so many people are targeting CLO. These are the examples. For example, Season Card, they launched the CLO in 2017, and Jack started in 2015, and Mitsui Sumitomo Card, they started CLO in 2016. However, afterwards, we don't see that many entry into this market. So right now, we're in a stagnant in the CLO market in Japan. These are the challenges of the CLO in Japan. It's been a few years since CLO launched in Japan. However, the market is not growing. There are two key elements to that. First of all, in Japan, retention of member and to block the members, each issuer just focused on the services targeting their own members or card members. Then issuer provides these services targeting card members. So that is how each market developed. So basically, they are competing with each other. So, which means between company A, B, and C, there is no sharing of information. And the second issue is there is a limitation when there is a silo in the industry. For members, they are not growing the customer base, so there is a potential issue that they always providing same kind of benefits. And also there's a possibility people may lose attraction to the offerings. Then as a result, the customer base are not growing, then participating stores, they may also not increase. That is a potential downside. Here you can see next challenge. In order to break away from this stagnation, we need to have a common platform. And also, we need to have support from media who can connect the users. At CardLinx, we can target the card companies, media, platformers. These are our great members, which means we have a great opportunity to gather an expertise. We're working together with CardLinx members to expand the CLO market. For that, we're discussing to develop platform. But at the same time, for CLO to improve its quality, each company needs to compete further. In order to develop the infrastructure that where we can compete with each other in Japan and elsewhere, on the top of that, we need to compete in a healthy manner that will create the unique CLO in Japan. That's the end of my presentation. The CLO service in Japan, if we can grow it, that will make our customers and the members happy, then the spend will be larger. Then, because of that, cashless the society will be realized. For that, I'd like to collaborate all of you. Thank you so much for your attention.
It's really exciting to hear about the development of the Sumitomo Mitsui Card program. I really also appreciate the leadership that Sumitomo Mitsui Card has taken in leading the development of the card-linked industry. One question that I have for you is picking up on your last point around collaboration within the Japanese market. Why do you believe that this collaboration among large issuers and large technology companies, why do you believe that that's so important?
Yes, I may irritate myself, but if you look at the CLO service in Japan, like us, it's quite silo. We are providing service targeting just our own members. In that way, we are not making customers or member, the merchants happy. So for us to have certain size, we need to have a breakthrough. One company cannot do. So certain number of companies need to work together to make a movement. In order for CLO to be penetrating, we have to have two areas. And we need to clarify where we are going to compete, where we are going to collaborate. Where we are going to collaborate, we need to have active conversation, and we need to set certain the rules and the APIs. Then on the top of that, we need to develop something where each company can compete in the healthy manner.
Also, as I mentioned, I think there's a lot of overseas people or foreign people coming to Japan and also more Japanese people going abroad. And so in that sense, I think we need to work together, the people in this room, we need to work together with overseas companies. It's going to be a requirement from here forth.
Kawahigashi-san. So as you know, for the format for our conferences and what we'll do today is each speaker will come up and speak, and then I'll ask a few questions, but we also want to give an opportunity for the companies in the audience to ask questions. So Ming Lacey, our head of PR, has a microphone. Are there any questions that anyone has in the room? And just raise your hand, and if you could just state your company name and then your question. Do we have any questions here from around the room? In fact, we have a question right here.
Hi, Paul Siegfried with TransUnion. First of all, I want to thank you for speaking today and presenting your story. I thought it was a very compelling story. But as you developed Kokoiko, I wanted to better understand how the bank's position regarding data ownership and usage has changed or matured over time.
As I mentioned, I think right now that it's really we only have our data, and we're only using our data. And as Mr. Tavares said, I think by one of the goals of expanding CLO is to really have more exchange of data. I think currently our settlement data or our payment data can only be used internally in our company. Does that help answer your question?
Yeah, I think you started to. I think that's very good. In terms of ownership, so the bank owns its data. Is there any thought to the consumer and the consumer owning data, and if the consumer wanted to share the data, not just with you?
Well, whose data is it? I guess is for us, the data is extremely important to our members and our shareholders. And we also want to look at it as our data as well. But I think right now, globally, settlement data belongs to the members. I think that's where the discussion is right now. In Japan, that hasn't really been clearly stated yet. We haven't gone down to that point. But in any case, I think that the participating companies and participating merchants, what's most important is that the data is actively used so that we can actually provide services that the consumers are happy with.
Paul from TransUnion. And just for context, because we have companies from all over the world, TransUnion is one of the largest data companies in the US. And as you point out, Kawahigashi-san, around the world, there's a movement for consumers to have more control of their data. Our next conference is actually in London, in Europe, and they've actually passed a law now that means that the consumer is able to share their transaction data, their payment data, with any entity that they choose. And we're starting to see that development also in the US, and probably it will happen in Asia as well, including in Japan. So great question. Are there any other questions in the room? Any other questions from the participants? Kawahigashi-san, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Just want to give you, thank you very much. And just before you go, I have a small gift that I want to share with you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.